Combustion.
Hey, yeah. What's going on? Yo.
Okay. What's up, y'all?
Yeah, man. It's been another long week. Everybody grinding at their jobs and everything, man. Appreciate everybody for stopping through. Autism Boy Cottage. Daniel Berry, Sports Highlights. Man, we really appreciate the love for real. Cryptic, my boy. Man, we got a good show today. That NFC West, man.
The NFC West.
I don't like any of the teams over there.
We know you don't.
But I will respect at least three of them.
That's already disrespectful already.
I don't care.
Bro, you were such a hater to the Niners because they kick y'all ass every time.
I will be that. I will definitely be a hater for that because I don't care. They got a terrible quarterback.
Hating that shit, right?
That's why they got their ass whooped in the damn championship. Fuck them. Anyway.
Thank you, Cryptic. Freaking Cowgirls fan over here.
Oh God. Cryptic. I don't want to hear anything from you because you couldn't beat us either. Anyway, moving on.
No, yeah, the refs helped y'all win that game. Y'all know good and well y'all was losing.
Did we tell the Lions? What's up? What up, bro? What up? Man, did we tell the Lions to go and not score a touchdown? We didn't. We didn't tell them not to kick the field goal.
Nah, y'all got saved on that.
Did we tell the Giants to not show up week 1? We didn't tell them that. We lost to a young team. What? The 49ers are not a young team. The hell is you talking about?
No, I'll say the Cowboys and 49ers, their age bracket is about the same.
I'm not going off that. Cryptic just said we lost to a young team. I'm trying to figure out what we talking about. Green Bay? Oh,
salute, my brother.
First off, since you may not know, we were already jinxed. We were already jinxed to lose that game thanks to a legendary Cowboy who went against us. I don't want to hear from him anymore. He is now excommunicado, number 88. I'm done with him right now. Moving on.
Man, quit being a player hater, man.
All right, cool. We're gonna go and talk about these Niners first, because as we already know, the division leaders and probably going to return again as division leaders. They still in some little turmoil right now. They in some turmoil right now. They got a receiver who don't want to be there. Not sure why you don't want to be there. You got Mr. irrelevant Brock Purdy at quarterback. You just re-signed McCaffrey, which was a good move. Got to keep a star. I don't know if he's going to continue being that dominant running back for you, but you got to continue having him. And they're going to have a rookie at corner. Renato Green.
Look, man, I'm gonna say this about the Niners. They're gonna lead the division. They're gonna be number one in the division. They're gonna make it to the playoffs. We already know that. We should have saved them for last because that's the best team in this division.
Nope, I don't want to save them for last. I want to get them out the way. I want to talk about them more.
See, look, all of our guests, viewers, this is what hating is called. This is what the definition of hate is.
No, you're gonna see hating when we get to the last division in a few weeks. You're gonna see so much hate. We're gonna have so much hate coming from everywhere. We're gonna find some Eagles fans. We're gonna find some Commanders, Redskins, whatever they call themselves, the football team. They got too many names over there.
Yeah, and we're gonna be talking about y'all cowgirls. Okay, the She-Eagles and the cowgirls. That's the only one. Let's not even talk about that division. We're talking about the West. So yes, the Niners, they made some moves this offseason. Signed Leonard Floyd from the Bills to a 2-year deal up to $24 million. They signed linebacker Devondre Campbell, who whipped y'all behinds in the playoffs. I think you remember him. He was on the Green Bay Packers this past year. They signed him up to a 1-year contract. It doesn't list how much he's getting, but he's on a 1-year deal. They went heavy on defense. They went and got Malik Collins, defensive tackle from the Houston Texans. So, I think offensively, we don't really got to worry about – I don't think the Niners really have much to worry in the offensive side of the ball. They got a lot to worry about on that defensive side after what we saw in the Super Bowl. But – I mean, they went ahead and they fired the defensive coordinator after the Super Bowl, literally a week later. So there's a lot that front office is trying to fix because, at this point for the Niners, it's do or die this year. You went to the Super Bowl this past year and you lost to, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Now this upcoming year, it's win or bust. And so I think they're trying to come up with the best defensive package for them to still be that number one elite defense they supposedly are. So when they do go against whoever makes it into the Super Bowl in the AFC, most likely will be the Chiefs or hopefully the Ravens. We don't know yet, but we're going to see.
Or Miami.
I'm not putting Miami up there yet. I'm not going to. I'm not going to jump and say them immediately, but I'll possibly say if it's not the Chiefs, then my next bet will be the Ravens. So whichever of those two teams they got to go against, you got two dynamic quarterbacks. So I think their defense is preparing for playoff time. I think that's the route they want to go.
I mean, Nick Sorensen's got some work to do, but I mean, he's got great pieces around him. Nick Bosa, like you said, they added Leonard Floyd, Javon Hargrave, Malik Collins. That front four is going to be pretty tremendous. But their linebacker core is still intact with Drew Greenlaw and Fred Warner, two tremendous linebackers. I can't say that they are terrible. I just don't like the team. Anyway, but that back end is going to get tested. I can see that now. Their back end is really going to get tested. And if a team's offensive line can hold up to that front seven, you can air out on them. You can get some plays down the field. I agree with you, Cottage Man. Yes, the 49ers will be the best NFC West team we know.
Hey, man, we're
not really a conversation. I didn't want to move to that.
Man, Rodney just upset because their team is better than his.
Man, that they look like a better team in the championship. Crazy.
Y'all wasn't going to y'all didn't do nothing in the first round, so don't even talk.
Cool. Anyway, did y'all make it again? No, you didn't. Anyway, moving in. And you won't make it this year either. So we're not worried about you. Irrelevant. Before you start talking. I like the 49ers defense. They're still tremendous. They're talented all around the board. It's the issue is probably going to be the receiving core right now. And yes, as Cottage already said, Trent Williams wants a new contract. That's a lot of new contracts we're trying to get. You know, Brandon Ayuk wants to leave. Trent Williams wants a new contract. We can't forget that Brock Purdy is going to end up coming with a new contract in the next 2 years, I think.
I don't think Brock Purdy is worth the amount of money that he might be expecting.
He may not be worth, but if you look at how the landscape is, everybody else is kind of locked up.
Honestly, to me, I think for Brock Purdy, yes, he's a facilitator. We've seen this. And I'm going to say this. If anything, the best move that I think the 49ers, when it comes to contract issues that they're going to have to do, is pay their weapons. And Brock Purdy, when that contract of his comes, when he has to renew it, just give him the, sign him to a franchise tag until you can get the money to actually sign what he wants. Pay your other guys, pay Debo, pay Brandon Ayuk, pay these players that pay your skill players that can get the ball up the field for you. Because we already saw when Debo Samuel was hurt and Brandon Ayuk wasn't there, Christian McCaffrey hurt, that Brock Purdy struggles. So have your guys there, and make sure they get paid first.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, they definitely need to. We'll get there in a minute, Cryptic. You are ahead of the game, my boy. Yeah, I think they still have the talent to make it deep in the playoffs. I'm not sure what team is going to be able to stop them as of right now. On paper, nobody looks like they're able to stop them.
I kind of disagree with you on that one.
You better not say them Shingles.
I mean, but let's be real. Let's be real at the rock. Looking at I hate the Eagles too as much as you do. They're down the street from my team, so I hate them as much as you do. Especially since they took Saquon, but especially since Saquon left us to go join them. But on paper, they have a good roster in the NFC. So if there's any team that should give the Niners problems, it's got to be Philly. And you have to be honest with yourself on that. Me and you both hate them, but we have to be real. Philly is the one team that can give them trouble. And Detroit. You
know what I'm going to say? That's what I'm going to tell you. Redeem Team 3. I'm not in the mood to deal with this foolishness.
And we got, Detroit Lions, they also are another team. We saw what happened in the playoffs.
Green Bay is not complete. They cannot compete with them. So sorry. That's not a thing. Sorry. I don't know why you would put them in that conversation, Cryptic. Like my man said, Lions, Eagles. Green Bay is not in that conversation.
Gosh, I agree with you. Brock Purdy is a good QB in this division. Yeah. And rightfully so. I feel like he deserves to get paid, but I don't think they're going to make that move with all the other, players that they have. Kittles, Debo Samuels, Brandon Ayuk, McCaffrey. They just paid Mitchell too, their other wide receiver. So, and you got to worry about paying your defense like Fred Warner and Greenlaw and those guys. So that's a lot of contracts you got to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, adding all those key players, key pieces to your defense, they sap up a lot of money. So, hopefully these rookies, Ricky Purcell, can work out for him. Jacob Cowlings, Ronnie Bell, Juwan Jennings. Hopefully these guys can step up in the place of Brandon Ayuk if he actually plays or doesn't play. We will see when the season gets here.
And shoot, you also got to think of they got a backup QB that you talked highly about a lot, Rod. And if they have the issues with Brock Purdy and say, hey man, he's been struggling this year, or if he gets hurt during the season, they're not going to lose a step because they did go ahead and sign Josh Dobbs to a 1-year deal.
Yeah, so, they've made good moves. They've made good moves the entire time this offseasons. Josh Dobbs is a tremendous quarterback that is severely overlooked. But as we know, when the 49ers have a struggling quarterback, their backup does play extremely well every time. So, and the dude's incredibly smart. I don't know how people keep overlooking him and not putting him on a team that desperately needs him. But
I mean, sometimes you just got backup QBs who are just good at being backup QBs. You know,
I don't think he's just a backup QB though. That's when you look at him. You looked at him in Arizona. Did he look like just a backup QB? That team that looked like they were gonna fail regardless.
Okay, you're right. I understand you're right, but you gotta also look at it like this. A lot of these players that are backup QBs, when their star quarterbacks go out for teams, they know all the weight is on their shoulders and they take over games. We've seen it, when Kaepernick, once he stepped in and played backup, what he did. We've seen in our division, Taylor Heineke for the Commanders, when he steps in, the Commanders' offense looks 1,000 times better than it does whoever else starts at QB. So there are QBs in this league who are meant to just, in other terms, like we know for basketball, be a six man and just come off the bench and just put in work on the field. So I think he's in a good position. If Brock Purdy, starts slacking up and the team is like, hey, man, we got to move on because we got to win games because it's do or die this season. Shoot, you're going to have to go Josh Dobbs.
Yeah. Josh Dobbs is so talented. But unfortunately, I wanted to start with this, but then you started talking about the 49ers, and I was like, let's get these cats out of the way. I'm trying to talk about them. So in other news, in my opinion, tremendously sad and depressed. One of the best defensive tackles to grace the field. Aaron Donald decided to retire. Tremendous guy. Has to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. There's just no way. So the Rams have to fill that space. And that's not an easy task at all. I don't think any defensive tackle that's in the league right now, 1 through 5, can really emulate the impact of Aaron Donald.
I agree with you. I mean, I can't think of any other dude who did his off-season training with knives. I mean, anybody who would do that, is already on my he got to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I don't know about y'all, man, but if y'all ain't never heard, every time we talk about Aaron Donald, Daryl says the same thing every time. My man be training with knives. I was like, that. I don't think that's all his training. I get it. That's the video.
Hey, bro, you gotta know how impressive that is.
And he working on his hand-to-hand fighting, man. Come on, bro.
Bro, and he's retired now. He's a civilian, so if somebody tries something stupid, shoot, he can use one of them moves, and he ain't worried about getting stabbed.
Who's trying Aaron Donald?
Hey, man, there's a lot of crazy people in this world.
I get it that he is light-skinned, but that's a big brother.
Throwing shade at the light skin is crazy.
A little bit.
But let's go on with look, to be honest with you, the Rams, they are going to struggle with that defensive line with him not being there. So, because he definitely takes a lot of pressure off the rest of the defense when he goes for the quarterback, running back, whoever in the backfield is. So with him being gone, it's definitely going to offenses definitely are not going to have to worry about him anymore. So I feel like you're going to see the Cardinals, Seahawks, even the Niners, when they play the Rams twice a year, they're going to be free to just do whatever they want to. Because what I mean by that, being able to say, hey, we can run the ball up the middle now because we don't got to worry about Aaron Donald clogging up the middle.
I don't think we could continue. I don't think we're going to say that completely. I do think they are going to take a couple steps back. They did draft Jared Verse and Brandon Fisk. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I like Brandon Fisk. I saw him. I watched him when he was at Florida State. Watched his train, his pro, his not pro am, damn, his camp, off-season workouts and stuff. Man, the dude he's talented. I don't know why he fell so far in the draft, injury or something like that. But if you guys were there with us, I was actually super depressed when the Rams took him, but rightfully so. You did need to fill a void, and that's part of helping fill that void. I think I don't know why they have him at defensive end. That's just weird, but okay. I don't. I think they're switching from the 4-3 to a 3-4.
Yeah.
Which, got it. You don't have that defensive tackle to really keep that, 4-3. But I'm really trying to figure out what they're going to do on the offensive side of the ball. Because without the defense, if the defense has slowed them down a little bit, the offense will have to slow down too. Just a little bit. But I don't think that's going to really happen with Matthew Stafford at the helm. Or Jimmy G, super sus man over there with Cooper Kupp, the fabulous rookie that they got from last year,
Puka Nacua,
that dude, he showed up, man. I didn't go a week without seeing something from him, playing tremendously well. They ended up drafting Blake Corum. I need to go look and see how tall that dude is. I really think that dude is like 5'6".
Yeah, he's short.
Why
am I saying that when I'm 5'6" too?
I think that you're like 5'6", but I don't know. Dad Jug is wild.
The offensive side of the ball for them too. They did go and sign former Seahawk tight end Kobe Parkinson to a 3-year, $22.5 million deal, especially with Tyler Higbee tearing his ACL and MCL back in January. So they need to fill in that spot. Especially, it's kind of they gotta get a veteran because Higbee is probably I probably will say a top 15, top 20 tight end in the league. I won't say top 10, but he's at least top 15, top 20. Yeah. So Parkinson will be a good replacement for him just to fill in until Higbee gets back and he's healthy.
Yeah.
They made some moves on the defensive side too as well. They got Tre'Davious White, longtime Buffalo Bill. They got Darius Williams this offseason. We'll bring him back. And then they went and I don't know how I feel about this, but they went and signed safety Cameron Curl from the Commanders, who we used to torch. So,
I'm gonna say this: like he ain't had no corner like a Tre'Davious White next to him, so it may or a Russ Yeast at safety, flying behind him. I'm with you though. I don't know how well that is going to do for them as they're starting strong safety.
I just don't see it really working. I'm not throwing shade at Cam Curl, but bro, we used to get torched. I'm sorry.
It'd be like that sometimes, man. There's always somebody on somebody's team that just gets torched. Eli Apple.
I ain't mad at you because I hated him when he was with the Giants. I don't even know why we wasted that draft pick. That was such a wasted draft pick.
I haven't seen him not get torched anywhere he's gone at this point.
Oh, yeah. Every time he runs his mouth, I hope whatever team he plays for, I hope they lose just because it's him.
I wish he played for the Eagles. That would be great. But he does not because they're smart, unfortunately.
back to it. So, talking about how we did with backup QBs. So Jimmy Garoppolo signs a 1-year contract to be Matthew Stafford's backup this season. Honestly, how I feel about that, I think it's a good move for Garoppolo to just be the backup because he has time with the Niners, and they were making the playoffs, but they weren't getting that. They weren't getting over the hump with him. And then once they got Brock Purdy and they saw what he could do, it became easier work for him and for that offense. And then we saw Garoppolo go to the Raiders, and man,
I don't know how you messed that one up.
Yeah, I would have thought that him with Devontae Adams, it would have been a good pair, but Devontae Adams clearly was not happy in that situation with him being quarterback. So yeah, I think the Raiders were done with Garoppolo too, which is why they basically moved on for him. So
yeah. I don't know if he's going to actually get his starting job. He may just end up being a backup at this point. And you're right. It should be good for him.
Well, I mean, he's suspended anyway, so he's missing the first 2 games of the season for violating league's performance-enhancing drugs. So we don't have to worry about seeing him on the field for at least the first couple of weeks.
But it's Jimmy G, baby. He wasn't gonna be on the field anyway, honestly.
Yeah, you're right. He was in the Super Bowl back in 2020 against the Chiefs, but I just feel like that Chiefs team that year they were good on both sides of the ball. Having Tyrann Mathieu on the defensive side, Chris Jones, that on both sides of the ball, I think they just had a lot of talent for the Niners that year.
What was that? The 49ers lost in the Super Bowl with Jimmy G at QB2. Yeah. I mean,
the Chiefs that year were they were stacked on both sides of that ball.
And then I can't think of was that Patrick Mahomes' first championship, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, that was Patrick Mahomes' first Super Bowl.
So you didn't know what you were going to expect when you got him on the field, and now he's become one of the most elite quarterbacks in the league. Damn near overnight, if you think about it. It didn't take him long. He just came in the league and he started torching cats. I mean, he definitely had some great help from being when you have.
And now look at him. He's.
I said he had great help when you have Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce. Like you can spread this field as much as you want, however you want, and nobody really was able to stop that kind of attack. The dude is, yeah, I'm with you, dog.
But now look at him. He's considered getting into that one of the greats conversation because he went from being liked to now being hated. So I mean, it comes with it.
It comes with that territory.
Yeah, you're doing something right.
Tom Brady.
But back to the Rams. So yeah, they went and got some help on the offensive line. They signed Jonah Jackson, who signed to a 3-year, $51 million deal. Jonah Jackson was part of that historic run that the Lions made this year that I think everybody was shocked about. Well, I can't say they're shocked, but they were definitely surprised and rooting for the Lions to get to the Super Bowl. So I would have thought that the Lions would have tried to make some type of deal with him, but I feel like they felt like there needed to be money spent in other parts, which when we talk about the NFC North, we'll get deep into the Detroit Lions. So, but I think this is a good pickup for them to give Matt Stafford protection.
Yeah.
Because he definitely needs protection.
They grabbed, what was that? Kevin Dotson from Pitt.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he played tackle in Pitt, actually.
He's resigned. He's resigned. He was with the Rams last year.
Okay.
So they resigned him to a 3-year deal.
How do you feel about Demarcus Robinson? Pretty sure that was a Baltimore guy.
How do I feel about him?
Yeah. You think he could be? I don't think he's going to be a number one receiver.
I mean, you just got how I feel about him is you just got to go. He's the ball. He just got to go where he can just succeed. And I hope he has a good season, but I'm not going to jump in conclusion and say, like, you know what, he's got to be the guy for that team because we already know Puka Nacua is, clearly favored the number one receiver. Not saying that Cooper Kupp still is the guy for them, but Cooper Kupp is getting older. And so Nacua is obviously, being his rookie year and already being in the Pro Bowl, he is going to be the number one receiver. So I think Demarcus Robinson, if he steps in and just plays his role, like he don't have to go crazy and have like, Pro Bowl numbers, but if he just like plays his role for that team, I think they'll be okay.
Yeah.
At least to compete, and I don't see them going like deep in like as far as being like a team like deep in the playoffs, but at least like they'll be a decent wild card team if they can get this offense going with Robinson too.
I really think they could be the number 2 team in this division, honestly, barring anything outrageous coming out of Seattle. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know if he's going to have a great year, but I think he's going to have a really good year with the Rams. Yeah. But as far as that, let's hit this wild card team. The team that could be fringe number 2, number 3, depending on how things go with the new head coach, Mike McDonald. The Seattle Seahawks 12th man, still running with DJ Metcalf and Tyler Lockett.
And Geno Smith.
I was getting there.
Oh man, so the Seahawks, the 12th man. They obviously, the Seahawks, they're one of those teams that you can't put them out the picture.
No.
It doesn't matter what scenario they've been. They're just one of those teams that just if they got energy in the locker room, like the fan base gives them energy, they know how to take that energy and run with it to win games.
Yeah.
They lost Bobby Wagner. He's going with the Commanders this year to his old defensive coordinator, Quinn. Dan Quinn. So that's kind of a big loss for them, I think, emotionally for fans. But he's gotten a lot older, so he's no longer in his prime to where he was doing stuff he was with Legion of Boom. But he's a fan favorite, so I understand why Seahawks fans are, saddened about him leaving.
Yeah.
But they still have, good players on that defense, like former Giant Leonard Williams. I just have to give him a shout out because he actually is a good player in this league at defensive tackle. When healthy, let me say that. When healthy, he's a good player.
Yeah, I do like I like him too. They also picked up Jonathan Hankins, defensive tackle from Dallas. He went up there. I'm not really sure if they're going with the 4-3 or sticking with their 3-4 normally, but I think with Hankins being up there, I think they're probably going to switch to a 4-3 and put Leonard Williams at the end. Draymond Jones from Denver that they picked up. They did a lot of work picking up players on this defensive side of the ball. Rashad Jenkins from Jacksonville, Jerome Baker, Julian Love. I'm gonna be honest with you, I need you to tell me who this is because he came from Giants.
Hey, all right, Julian Love, man.
Because
I'm gonna tell you about Julian Love. Look, that if you want to talk about somebody who hustles and plays hard every snap on the ball, it's gonna be Julian Love. He's a former Giant. Our playoff run we made getting past the Vikings a couple of years ago in 2022. He played a big part in that defense in the secondary. He just hustles. I mean, that's his game. Like, he likes to bet on himself. He likes to make, he likes to gamble, likes to be a ball hawk. It's dangerous, but it's effective when it works. And he's a good tackler. That's another thing. I don't think I've ever seen him miss an open field tackle. And we saw all of that come into play when they played Philly on that Monday night game when Drew Lock, had, his groundbreaking game with Seattle before everybody was like, oh, this guy can be a starter in the league. And now he's being the backup for Daniel Jones. So but I mean, it is what it is. But Julian Love, I like his game a lot.
Okay. His name came, I looked and I was like, man, why do I not know who this Julian Love character is? And it's on the Giants. Why is it? Oh, it's from the Giants. It's not memorable.
Don't be disrespectful.
Don't
be disrespectful.
I was playing with you, dog.
Man. But yeah, Julian Love, yeah, I think he's definitely going to be a captain on that defense this year.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't know, man. They did draft Byron Murphy II. Like I said, I really do think they're going to the 4-3, man. There's just no way. You got Jonathan Hankins, defensive tackle. Byron Murphy II from Texas, decent, great defensive tackle. I'm not sure why we wouldn't be going to the 4-3.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense for that defense to go.
Yeah,
you clearly see they went heavy on linebacker with Bobby Wagner being gone too. Yeah. So, and they picked up decent linebackers. Terrell Dotson, like we said, he's no stranger to the NFL and to that position. He played pretty okay for the Bills. So I think he's just taking this opportunity to, show what he can do. Because, I mean, after you play on that Bills defense, if you branch off and go somewhere else, it's kind of like you got to bring that Bills Mafia energy to whatever team you go with.
Yeah. I mean, at least the ones that, when y'all playing really well, bring that one. So at quarterback we have, and I like Geno Smith. I do. I think he's been a tremendous quarterback since he's been in Seattle. Kind of rejuvenated his career. Got to make that next step to get a good contract. His backup, Sam Howell, PJ Walker. I don't know many people who know. PJ Walker was an XFL quarterback. In the first year of the XFL, that was after when Vince McMahon left that, and The Rock and his cohort took it and made it what it is today. And now the UFL, which tremendously. Let's go. Beham Stallions. Let's go. He played tremendously well at quarterback, winning the championship. I thought he had the ability to be in the NFL. It did not work out in Cleveland. I don't know if the game was just moving faster or what the case may be, but he has a new opportunity here in Seattle to be the backup. I think he's going to be a backup in his NFL career now, or he's going to return to the XFL. Either way, not bad. Still works out.
I think he'll. I'm gonna speak and say I think he will be a backup. I won't say he's going back to the XFL.
I'm not saying he would. I'm just saying he could go back to the XFL.
Yeah.
I mean, go back to where it started, where he got the opportunity to showcase his tremendous passing skills. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to get to that point yet. I don't know if it's just Cleveland's offense or lack of offensive line. I don't know.
No, Cleveland just don't know how to run an offense. That's it.
Probably. But let's get to last but not least, man. Last but not least, the tiny tots of the NFC West. The tiny tots. Arizona Cardinals, guys. Honestly,
the baby Cardinals. That's who I think.
The baby Cardinals. Man, they did tremendous first pick in the draft. They went how they should have, and a lot of us probably predicted Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah,
it could have gone either way, honestly. But Marvin Harrison Jr., talented receiver at Ohio State, paired up with Michael Wilson and Greg Dortch. That's going to be a pretty interesting receiving room right there. In addition to having that good running game with James Conner, and they also drafted Trey Benson. So just in case James Conner goes down, you got another running back that is just as good. I don't know if he's going to be even more talented, but I think he's just as good to help Kyler Murray, Mr. Tiny Tot himself, move this Arizona Cardinal in the right direction. And if he doesn't, Desmond Ridder with a second opportunity will do.
Yeah, the Cardinals, their offense this year, I think is going to be a lot different now since Kyler Murray has his number one receiver. So we're going to start seeing. Well, hopefully we're going to start seeing them take shots downfield like Kyler Murray. We've seen him do in the past when he had DeAndre Hopkins do it for Marvin Harrison Jr. I think the development of Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be good. I'm going to go in and say he's going to be, tremendous. He's going to have a tremendous career in this league. I don't know if it's going to be up to the level of his father, but I mean, he'll be in the league for a while.
I mean, I think he could definitely get to that point. I think that the goal is, one, you have to hit a championship at the very least. You have to get to the championship, whether it's with this team or the next. I hope he is not like his father and stay with the same team forever. But if he does, you understand that you're going to be in some rough times. I mean, look at how long it took Larry Fitzgerald to get a championship.
Larry Fitzgerald will just he'll just be a nominee for saying best to not get a championship that deserved one.
Definitely deserved one. I ain't gonna say he got robbed, but
no, they didn't get robbed. They just didn't finish the job.
Pittsburgh, which is crazy because they had Anquan Bolden as well. So I was like, man, good duo of receivers. So, the offensive line they got some key pieces. Will Hernandez from the Giants.
Boom. Sorry.
Wait, what?
Said boom.
Oh man. You killing me. The center from Cleveland, for Holt, Evan Brown from Seattle, and Jonah Williams from Cincinnati. So they did look at the offensive line and said they need some key pieces to help them move forward. I'm hoping that Temp Rimmon will replace Trey McBride at tight end, or even Elijah Higgins.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping one of them ends up winning the job at tight end, because that will definitely help them out. They picked up Darius Robinson from Penn State, not mistaken, and Max Melton, linebacker. Oh, no, sorry, corner. Good pieces from the draft. Who's that? Sean Murphy Burton. When did he hyphenate his name? From Tennessee. I don't remember when he hyphenated his name.
Sorry, bro. Every time you pronounce names, I have to.
Why are you laughing, dude? I don't know how to spell. That's the whole another dude. That's not my name. Mr. Randolph. Get out of here. But I think this defense has got a lot of key pieces. Justin Jones, Kaiser White from Philly, good linebackers. Tyrus Burns from Green Bay, some good key pieces at linebacker. Buda Baker is going to be in the back of that doing Buda Baker things. The dude is tremendous as a free safety.
They also to help out at the running back position, they picked up DJ Dallas from Seattle to a 3-year deal. So DJ Dallas he could be a number one running back too if he wanted to. So
I don't think he's beating out James Conner.
Get a breather on the sideline.
I'm sorry, he's not beating out James Conner.
No, he's a back. He'll be the backup. I'm saying, but he's definitely a good backup so to give Conner breathers on the sidelines. You can't have James Conner in the backfield every 3 downs.
I know, but they just got the rookie Trey Benson.
I mean, I get that too, but DJ Dallas probably going to be the second back of this team. I mean, they might put DJ Dallas as just a return man, because he did return in 4 seasons with Seattle. I'm looking at his numbers. He returned 62 kickoffs for 1,500 yards and 39 punts for 367 yards in his 4 seasons there. So he might just be a return man. That's why they picked him up.
Yeah, he's probably going to be a third back and a return man. For the special teams, so they, change the field position, get a good punt returner, kick returner. What? Yeah. Yes, get out of here. All right. I'm liking it. Their team's only going to go as far as Kyler Murray progresses. And if he cannot progress further than what he is right now, then it is time to maybe move on, or, sit him down and let Desmond Ridder get his shot.
I mean, shoot, they should have kept Josh Rosen, but,
True.
But Josh Rosen clearly did not want to be there after they picked up Kyler Murray, so.
I mean, you obviously said you weren't giving me the job because you just drafted another dude. So, so one of the favorite parts of our show is we like to do a little ranking. For y'all don't know, I know Cottage has been in here hitting up the chats. Again, please like, subscribe, share with everybody, please. Everybody who's here from, everybody is on the X today. What? That's cool. But for real though, please like, subscribe, and share with everybody. Let's keep building the Vanity Sports name and Backyard Blitz along with Hoosters, man. They're over there doing their thing. But we like to do a little NFC West ranking. With the quarterbacks, running backs, receiving core as a whole. We don't want to do individuals because it takes more than just one to literally make that offense, move up the field, including your tight end. And then the defensive side of the ball, we're just doing the straight defense because that's a whole unit. One dude can elevate the unit, but they're still a unit. So let us rank go ahead and get the quarterbacks out the way. Who you got as number one?
Number one right now, I got Brock Purdy.
I have Matthew Stafford.
I'm not mad at you for that, but I just feel like Brock Purdy got a lot better weapons, which makes him the more successful quarterback in this division.
I agree with you. But I think that Matthew Stafford's pedigree himself and his ability to, continue bringing teams with him and not managing the team makes him a better quarterback. It's his talent, not the team's talent. We're going to add to it, but Matthew Stafford is the better quarterback. Brock Purdy will be number two on my list.
I got Matthew Stafford number two.
Okay. We both probably have Geno Smith as three.
Yeah.
Okay. And Tiny
we collectively agree. Yeah, I got Kyler Murray at 4 specifically. Not saying he's a bad quarterback. No. It's just he can't stay healthy.
I'm not gonna say he can't. I think this is his second injury.
Yeah, yes, it's his second one,
and he's been in the league for 3 years, I think. 3 or 4 years.
He's been in the league since they did they had the quarantine season.
Okay, yeah. So, I don't think it's his health. I do think it's the offensive game plan that hurts him a little bit more. If he has more of an Oklahoma style offensive game plan, I think it would work better for him. But he's not a traditional gunslinger.
No, I disagree with you on that one. He's a gunslinger.
Drew Brees is a gunslinger. Tony Romo is a gunslinger.
Kyler Murray showed that he's a gunslinger. He showed it in Oklahoma with that Oklahoma offense. He can do it in the NFL.
Okay, when I say gunslinger, is the volume of throws.
The thing is if he just has a line that can protect him to get him to be one, he is one in this league. It's just that offensive line, especially when you have Will Hernandez blocking for you.
He just got Will Hernandez on. You are so. I hope Will Hernandez has a tremendous season right now and prove that it is not his fault that the rest of the offensive line in the Giants was not good either.
Bro, he sucks.
Your whole offensive line sucked. I don't want to hear that.
Bro, Will Hernandez was trash.
Out of the 5.
Will Hernandez was trash. He's up there with he's up there. Who else? Evan Neal. Flowers. He's up there with the worst.
I was hoping you were about to say incognito. That was going to be hilarious.
I'm not giving you that, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not giving you that. Will Hernandez is trash.
I'm not gonna say you're trash, sir. I'm not gonna say that. I think you had a bad season on a bad team, and they're now scapegoating you as part of the problem. Which, yes, you are part, but you weren't the whole problem. That guy behind you, who was making more than the running back, who was better than him, was the problem.
Bro, his name is Will Hernandez is irrelevant, okay? And I'm saying, bro, because we're the New York Giants, his name was known. That's why. He's in freaking Arizona. Don't nobody care about him.
Time out. The only reason why his name is known had nothing to do with the Giants. His last name is Hernandez. Who was the most famous Hernandez that you know? Don't worry, I'll let you know from New England, the guy who killed his friend. I'm just saying that's why it's more relevant. Not because he's on a bad team. Nobody cares about that. Okay.
No, Will
people
Hernandez,
on bad teams all the time.
No,
look at Carolina. Sucks. Anybody say nothing about that?
Will Hernandez sucks. Okay.
He's just mad because he didn't play well on your team when your whole team wasn't playing well.
No, you are not going to come out and just say this shit.
Yes, I am. But all right, so we know who number one running back is. Oh man, Christian McCaffrey.
Talking about all that crap.
What are you looking up now? What are you gonna look up now to try to prove your point?
We looking up his stats right now so I can show you this motherfucker's trash. No, you can carry along. Go on to your next topic while I do this.
Like I said, Christian McCaffrey number one. I'm gonna go James Conner 2. Sorry, my screen is frozen, and I don't know why. What is going on? Oh, there we go. Let's see here. We are having trouble. Jackson, what?
What happened?
Sorry, my son decided to text me something weird. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with McCaffrey for the 49ers at 1, James Conner at 2. Who is 3? Do I want to go with? I don't want to go with Seattle actually, because I'm not sure. Kenny Walker the third. I think he's a good running back, but I don't think he is tremendous. You figured it out yet?
He sucks so much they don't even really have his stats up here.
Because they don't put stats of linemen.
Anyways, yeah, so for running backs, McCaffrey's number one.
Oh god. He's so upset.
James Conner at number 2. At 3, who should I put at 3 in this situation?
I think Corum is gonna be. No, yeah. If Corum is starting,
I want to put Corum at 3, but he hasn't played it down yet in the league, so I don't want to jump straight to, conclusion and have him at 3. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to put him at 3 because I'm going to have faith that he's going to have a good season. I'm going to have faith that he'll have I won't downgrade him and say he's going to have a bad season. I'm still looking up this information. And then we'll just do Kenneth Walker third as number 4.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if it was going to be. Yeah, actually, no. I'm going to go Kenneth Walker 3. and then Blake Corum and Karen Williams. I don't think that Karen Williams had a was tremendous in the run game because they're such a pass heavy team.
Yeah,
but they may play they may play a bigger part this year than they did last year. So yeah, that's how I'm gonna go with that. So I like Kenny Walker. Kenny Walker the third is good. I was debating whether I wanted to put him in third or fourth. I don't think he's better than James Conner, and I don't think he's better than Chris McCaffrey, obviously. Show. On to the matter of fact, we'll leave that one for last.
What, the receivers?
Yeah, because that's gonna be an interesting conversation.
Okay.
Because depending on who's gonna be there and who's not gonna be there, it's a conversation. With why is my screen black?
We're going defense now?
Yeah, we're gonna go defense. And number one is obviously the 49ers.
As you should know, they are. Number two, I'm
gonna say Seattle.
Yeah. Okay.
With some of the interesting pieces that they brought in, Jonathan Hankins
to fill in for Bobby Wagner.
That too, but I mean up front you got Jonathan Hankins. What was that? Brian Murphy. I mean, their defense looks pretty not intimidating, but on paper they look very stout, especially in the run game. So you're gonna have to try to pass on them, and they have some talented corners there. So it's gonna be pretty tough trying to put up Madden type numbers, but I don't think anybody other than Miami is putting up Madden type numbers anyway.
I'm gonna agree but disagree with you in this situation. So I agree with what you say about Seattle, their defense of being a number two. But I think even though Aaron Donald is retired, I think this is going to light a fire in on the Rams defense because they're seeing the media say, "Hey, Aaron Donald's gone." Like I said, Aaron Donald's gone. You have no defense now. And Sean McVay, if I know anything about him, is he's a player's coach and he knows how to grab the attention of his team.
Time out.
So
who said that?
Look, I know. We see that Sean McVay is a player's coach. The players like playing for him. I mean, you got to think about it. He's one of the youngest coaches in this league, and he's gotten players respect him that play for the Rams. So
he's gone to the championship.
So I'm telling you right now, I think that defense is going to be fired up to show the NFL, hey, we can still be effective without Aaron Donald. So I'm going to have them at number two. And then I'm going to have Seattle at three.
See, but that's why I said it's going to take a step back. Because that is, like I said, that is and Cottage agreed with me earlier, that's a huge hole to fill that you cannot just try to fill it overnight. Yeah, they have good pieces, some great pieces that are in play around if Aaron Donald was still there. But now that you don't have him, you have to now kind of restructure your defense. That's why I said they're going to take a step back. I'm not saying that they're going to be bad. I'm not saying they're Arizona on defense. No. They still got work to do, even though you got Buda Baker in the back.
But
I'm not getting there number 4. They're 3 still with Arizona pulling up the rear. But that's a different type of plug and play type of thing. Like, oh, this generational talent type of player, you can't replace that. You can't
Okay,
replace
so
the fact that he is going to get double teamed every time he's on the field. Now I don't. Now who am I double teaming? Who on that team do I need to double team? Nobody.
okay, so like let's look at it like this, and I'm gonna just pull the rabbit out the hat with this one. So as a Cowboys fan, so this past season, once Diggs went out hurt for the season, you said we got nobody to fill in that role that Diggs did. Deron Bland came out. You weren't high on him, but then once you saw how effective he was, then your confidence grew on him, and you were like, "Oh yeah, Deron Bland is like that." So you don't think, and this is a small chance, but you don't think there could be something in a situation where for the Rams where they're saying, "Okay, we lost Aaron Donald, but they might have a guy there who can fill in that void. May not be as a generational talent, like Aaron Donald, but still be effective."
Okay, so some of these guys were still on this team when Aaron Donald was there, and the only name that was, not even that. No, they moved a bunch of people. Maybe Ernest Jones, Ernest Jones. I hate Roman noodles. Byron Young. They may jump up and surprise people, but we're adding 2 rookies to the mix here. Kobe Turner, not a top 10 defensive tackle. Bobby Brown. Like, you had Aaron Donald there. Those guys look like something, but not enough to say this defensive line is going to move if Aaron Donald is not here, whether he's hurt or gone or to another team. That front is now hurting, and we're now filling it with rookies who, to their right, have the year to say, this is what I could do if they explode and nobody notices it until it's too late, which is not going to happen because who else on this team are we really looking at on the defensive side of the ball? Offensively, we know who we need to look at, Matthew Stafford. But on the defense, who are you looking at when you game plan for? I don't have to really game plan for anybody because there's a possibility I could take advantage here. Now, I don't know what the run game is going to look like this year. Aaron Donald's not there. That's a step back. You ain't going to say, oh, I'm putting these guys here or the guys that were here before, they're going to take a step and we're going to stay at the same thing. We're not going to stay at the same thing because we were only that because there was a guy that they were double and triple teaming the entire time.
I mean, right now, as far as like this defense for the Rams, they don't have an effective, as we know of right now, defensive line with Aaron Donald being gone. But if there's anything that teams got to be prepared for when going against that defense this year is the secondary with Darius Williams, Tre'Davious White. You got to focus on them. I'm not adding Cam Curl into that situation because he hasn't shown enough for me to be like, yeah, he's a threat. But White and Williams, those are 2 players that I'm going to be worried about if I'm going to go against this Rams defense. Throwing the long ball, throwing the ball near any of them because those are ball hogs. So I will go ahead and say the Rams at 3, and then Cardinals going to be 4th on defense.
I'm with you. I mean, when I look at both those defenses, I don't see anyone that is completely threatening. I mean, yes, on the backside, I think both Arizona has a good secondary, and I think the Rams have a good secondary. It's the front 7 that concern me on both sides. Who is going to be the one that explodes and becomes that guy? You know, if the Rams still had Aaron Donald, then yeah, I'm with you. Aaron Donald moves that team closer to number 2 than they are to number 3.
Yeah.
So
But I mean,
there's no explosion to get to the ball carrier or to get to the quarterback. Who is that guy who's supposed to really be that for either one of these teams?
we're gonna have to see this season.
Yeah,
Somebody's gonna have to step their game up to get that paycheck.
of course. I mean, somebody's going to step up and they're going to get paid, but probably not unless they have, you know, Micah Parsons s type of season. You won't see it. So, but yeah. So on to these receivers, man. How do you? So I'm okay leaving the 49ers receiving core number 1 if Brandon Ayuk is playing for them.
Yes, if Brandon Ayuk is playing for them, which he most likely will be playing, there will be number 1. At number 2, this number 2 position is going to be tough because you got 2 receivers on both the Rams and on the Seahawks that are dual threats. Well, actually, no. You know what? I already know who I'm gonna have at number 2. Yeah, Seattle. I'm having them at number 2 because we can't forget about Njigba either.
Yeah,
we can't forget about him. He's shown flashes last season that he can be a threat down the field. So we know what DK can do. We know what Tyler Lockett can do. So Njigba, he's that third person on that wide receiving core. So I'm gonna have him at number 2. Then I'm gonna have the Rams at number 3 because you guys say Cooper Kupp is still a dog, and Puka Nacua. I mean,
I think it's more Puka Nacua than it is Cooper Kupp at this point.
It is like Puka Nacua, like I said earlier in the show, is the number 1 receiver. But Cooper Kupp, obviously, he can fill in and he can play the backup and be the number 2. And then we just have the Cardinals, who, not saying the Cardinals don't have a good receiving core, but it just don't compare to what those other 3 teams in their division have. So we gotta keep it a stack. Like the Cardinals, Kyler Murray.
I think they're building. Upon what they could have, starting off with their number 1 receiver, Marvin Harrison Jr. Hopefully he lives up to the hype and plays well and stays healthy. I doubt that he's going to get in any trouble off the field, but they have to find somebody else. They have Zay Jones from Jacksonville, which I just noticed that. Yeah, that could work. Greg Dortch is not a bad receiver. Mitchell Wilson, I got to see more from him. If not, then Zay Jones may take that position at number 2.
Yep.
And that actually helps. Now you have a tremendous speedster in Zay Jones that can, open up the field a lot more for your tight ends and your running backs out of the backfield. So they're moving. They're 4th, but it's not like, oh yeah, we know you're just gonna be 4th because you ain't really got nothing.
I think this is more going to be a rebuild season for the Cardinals still. I mean, they got their receiver, but I still think they're missing some more pieces.
Guaranteed. Yeah, man. I'm liking it, guys. I am liking it. Oh, can I delete this? Ooh.
Yeah, so I'm all for it. We already covered who's placing what who's going to be first through 4 for this division, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm all for it. 49ers. Can't wait to see y'all whip up on the Cowboys, again. He went quiet because he knows it's the truth. But, I mean, we're going to let him stay quiet.
I'm not going to say anything. Just like last time, I didn't say anything to you.
Oh, yeah. Let's not talk about that.
If that happens again, just know my background going to look totally different that week.
Oh, I believe it.
Totally different.
I believe it.
Coming in hot. But all right, guys, that's going to be the end of the show today, man. We really appreciate everybody for stopping through. And I didn't see Tiff today. That was wild.
Backyard, not Backyard. Hoopsters has their show going on right now. Yeah, so she might be over there.
It's all good. It's all good. Cryptic, man, thank you for stopping through. Daniel Bree Sports Highlights, man. Thank you. The Autism Boy Cottage. Why do you have that, Cottage? Real quick, man. I want to know why you have that. Why is that your name? I have to understand this necessity for the autism thing.
Hey, man, you know what? Shout out to him because the Mets beat the Phillies today. So anytime a Philly team lose, shoot, everybody win.
Everybody win. That's what we like. That's what we like to hear. Yeah, man. It's been a fun day. It's a great show. Thank y'all for all coming in. We had one over there on YouTube, and I think he probably came over to the X. Hey, Sports PSP, my man.
Jordan Love or Kyler Murray? Oh, goodness. All right. You know Jordan. What? I'm going Jordan. And I like Oklahoma. I like the Sooners. I like Kyler Murray when he played with us, but I gotta go Jordan Love. He showed something to me this season, especially during the playoffs.
Shut up.
Didn't actually why are you getting so hostile?
He didn't actually do much. The running game did.
Bro, we're not talking about against the Cowboys.
Lies. I know you lying. I already know you lying.
We're not talking about the Cowboys. I'm talking about against the Niners.
Hey, yo, Force PSP. Hey, yo, this is probably the most iconic thing that we've heard from our man Champ. Desmond Ritter couldn't pass gas even if you fed him refried beans. Oh, man. He was so heated with that dude that day. He was so heated with that dude that day, man. It's like, I can't. This is why you love when you love people who love football. This is the stuff that you see and you hear. It's so good and it's so fun. You get these clips, you get all that stuff, man. It's crazy. Man, Sports PSP, man. I didn't come back to the show, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I need to get back over there. But thank you all for showing up. Big D. All right, with the two hands up, the Jamaican killer over here. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. Wow.
Dang, bro, why you gotta act like